All right, so here I'm going to go through how to use Search Console and ChatGPT to rewrite existing content. So I'm here in, why does it say document modified? There you go. I'm here in Search Console at one of our client websites, and I'm just going to come down to performance. And I'm going to go into pages. So I want to find a page that is performing, but we can do better. And I haven't looked at these before, so I'm probably just going to choose one. Maybe this one. Okay, so we'll grab that one. This will bring me to the page. And now if I click on it here, that'll add it to a filter. So you can see that page is now filtered up here. And if I go to queries, Search Console is going to show me only the queries for this particular URL. And then just to check, I'll hit rank position. And there's quite a bit on the first page. Let's expand this. I just want to make sure it makes sense to target this URL. If we have a bunch of stuff on the first page and then a bunch of stuff on the 10th page, we probably want to find a different URL. But here's some second page stuff, and these are pretty clearly buying keywords. This is an e-com store, so ranking for buying keywords is quite good. We have some more down here, so we're going to go ahead and go with this one. So what we do, we're going to export with a CSV, and then that will tell us. Let me go and open it real quick. Can I just click here? Yeah, there it is. And then I want the queries file. Okay, so what this tells me is the top queries, number of clicks, impressions, CTR, and position for this particular URL. So perfect, that's what I want. I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to take the queries, I'll put it on the desktop. All right, close that. And then I'm going to come over to ChatGPT. And I'm going to give it a prompt. And you don't have to write this down. I have in the file resources this prompt, so you can just use the exact same prompt. We're going to give it that CSV file, and get out of here. And then I am going to copy all of the content. Oh, it's pretty short. Awesome. Okay. Boom. And I'm going to give it the content. So now ChatGPT is going to analyze the CSV file. It's going to take a look at the content, and it's going to rewrite the existing content, which is basically what we're asking it to do. We know that if they're in the position 11, position 12 for a query, and they don't have that exact match keyword in the content, by simply adding that exact match keyword, we can typically improve the rank position by a couple of spots. And remember, a couple of spots is huge. If you're in position 10, 11, 12, that's enough to get it to the first page. So that's all we're doing at this first pass, is rewriting the content to add exact match to keywords that they're close to the first page on, but not quite there. Okay, so that's the output that we got there. Now, what we want to do is ask it for what the best target keyword is. Okay, so let me grab that prompt. So here's that second prompt, and here we're just asking ChatGPT, hey, what keyword do you think is the most important one that it's currently ranked for? Wire crate versus plastic kennel. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to copy that. And I mean, again, you could double check this. You could run an Ahrefs keyword analysis tool, but we're just going to go with what it told us, and we're going to put that into Google search. And what we're looking for is this people also ask section. Okay, and then if we click and open and click and open, we end up just getting more and more and more people also ask questions. And that's what we really want here. We just want a lot of people also ask questions. You know, again, without ChatGPT's help, this would take a lot of time to do this analysis. But luckily with ChatGPT, we don't need to worry about it. So here, I'm going to grab my prompt number 3, paste that in there, and then I'm going to come over to my people also ask. Just grab all of them, because again, it doesn't matter, right? We can grab all of them. ChatGPT can handle very long prompts, and then just give ChatGPT all of the people also ask questions along with that prompt. And that prompt is basically, hey, we want to establish more topical authority, more topical relevance for this particular keyword. So let's go ahead and start thinking about generating an FAQ section that we can add to the existing content. And here we're going to ask ChatGPT to first separate which questions are directly answered and which ones are not directly answered. Remember, we covered before that ChatGPT, AI in general, has a tendency to hallucinate. So we want to focus on, we want to ask ChatGPT to answer questions using only the content we've already provided. That will minimize the probability of hallucinating. So that's what this prompt does. It's basically, focuses on the questions that are directly answered. So then ChatGPT is going to write an FAQ section based on the questions that are directly answered in the content. So we still want to double check this. We still want to make sure that it's not hallucinating, it's not making things up, but it's a lot less likely that we're going to have problematic hallucinations when we're being so clear to ChatGPT to only use the content that we already have on that page, okay? And we'll let this finish. I'm going to go ahead and pause. Now that we're not finished, next prompt, we're now going to ask it to answer the rest of the FAQ section or the FAQ questions. But now ChatGPT has to grab content from the rest of the internet. So we want to, obviously, even the prior ones, we want to double check and fact check them. But these are like really, really critical to fact check. Here, we don't want ChatGPT to just make something up. But let me go ahead and pause this until it finishes loading. So remember, if we look at the actual content on the page, it's pretty short. And what we've done here is all of this content we can add and all of this content we can add. Basically copy paste, clearly again, read it, make sure it's not adding any hallucinations, but boom, we probably doubled the content volume on that page, plus did a lot to establish topical authority, topical relevance with Google's algorithm. And the last prompt number 6, what we're asking it for here is we're going to write some supporting content articles, potentially. And if we do write supporting content articles, the best supporting content articles to write are basically long form answers for those FAQ questions. So here we're just asking ChatGPT, hey, which FAQ questions make sense to expand into its own article, and then we can use internal linking to establish it as a supporting article for the target page, this wire crate versus plastic kettle. And you can see, so I asked it to give me a target keyword, which it is. I asked it to give me a title tag to maximize click-through rate, and then it's even giving me some headings for the article. So this is going to be super helpful. It's going to make writing this article much easier because we already have almost an outline for it. Obviously, we would use ChatGPT to write this article. We're not going to write it by hand, but these outlines are very helpful in giving ChatGPT article writing prompts. So there we have it. That is what we do if we have a piece of content that is ranking okay and we just want to give it a little bit of a push to get more traffic. This is very commonly something we do in the first few days, weeks of a new client engagement.